Hi guys, welcome back to another real-time sketchbook video. It's a very cold and rainy November evening here, so I thought it was perfect editing weather. In this one I'm working on the coral painting that you will have seen on my channel. If you haven't seen that video, I would recommend just checking that out first, just to get a bit more info on everything. But this was my first time trying the Holbein Acryla gouache paints. Here you're just seeing me sketch it out. I didn't use a reference for this one. I was just kind of drawing some wiggly lines here and there. I was looking at a picture of some coral more for the colours, which I obviously did exaggerate, but yeah, for the shape of it I just kind of made it up as I went along, and I was really happy with how that turned out. So yeah, I was trying the Acryla gouache for the first time. I really liked it. It takes a bit of getting used to, but I thought this would be a good opportunity to just talk a little bit about how I was blending the paints while you can see it in real time. So I started out by just getting, I think, 4 or 5 different colours. I think I got out a purple, a dark pink, a lighter pink. I got out an orange, but I didn't use that, and I got out a yellow and a blue. And then I think later on at the end I got out a couple of other colours, but I just started out with those few colours. I didn't put any other colours out because I didn't want to get too carried away. I don't know, I feel like having fewer colours, you can still achieve the things that you normally would. Like, these are all colours that I think I could achieve with a very basic set if I just spent more time mixing and blending them together, apart from the really bright pink, which I don't think you can achieve any other way than having a bright pink. But yeah, I started out with the darks and moved onto the lights, just going a section at a time. So I would lay down, I had a dark blue as well, so I would put down the dark blue just like at the bottom, and then I don't know, I feel like it would make more sense if I was doing it. Okay, here we go. Put down the dark blue just in a little patch at the bottom, and then I would get the purple, which I'd mixed a little bit with the dark blue, and just start laying in that a little bit higher up. And then if I wanted to have like a pure purple area, I would start that purple outside of that area. So like I would put that higher up than where I wanted to start, if that makes sense. So they wouldn't be touching at first, and then I would sort of draw that back down into the lower colour. I feel like that really didn't make sense. Hopefully you'll see it more at a different stage in the painting. At this bit I was just going from purple to pink, I think. So I've got the purple down there, I've got the darker pink, and then, okay, yeah, see, I'm going in with the light pink further up than where the dark pink stops, and then bringing it back down into the dark pink, so that I can keep the lighter pink, a purer lighter pink up there, and then I can do the blending down towards the dark pink, and just sort of like swooshing it back and forwards, and then sort of pulling that dark pink up into the light pink, but having the lighter pink up there completely sort of clean and bright without any other colours mixed into it. And that was a technique that really worked well for me. So just starting a fresh colour outside of the other colours and bringing it back down into the other colours. That was a great way to make sure that each colour was where I kind of wanted it to be. So yeah, that's how I approached the blending for this one. I'm still kind of experimenting with this paint. It isn't, I don't know, it's a different kind of consistency than what I'm used to. I think it is more like acrylics in terms of consistency. But one thing that I do think is like a benefit of these is that they're a bit more flexible when it comes to re-wetting them. I would say you have a good like 10 to 20 minutes to kind of be able to manipulate it once it's on the page. With acrylics, they just kind of dry straight away and you can't really work with them after that. These are a bit more movable once they're down on the paper. I'm hoping to sort out the review for these sometime this week, so hopefully that'll be up either Saturday or Sunday. Today I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about a question that I got from Lisa. Also, I been answering a lot of your questions in the comments, and when I went through them today, I realized that my comments weren't there, so I don't know if my responses to you haven't been posting. Apologies if you feel like I've been ignoring you. I really haven't. So yeah, I don't know what that is about. I don't know if that's the app. I don't know if I was using my phone at the time, or if it's on the computer, if it's just the Patreon website. I'm not sure. But yeah, I apologize if it seems like I'm ignoring you. If you do have any questions, always feel free to ask them. I will really try to make sure that my answer goes through. I don't really know what that was about, but I really apologize. So yeah, I had a question from Lisa asking about why I use my own website rather than sites like Etsy. And that's an interesting one, because I am actually have had on my to-do list that I need to set up an Etsy shop. Obviously, there are different kind of benefits for each. I like having my own website just because of the control. I don't know much about Etsy. I don't know if they have like fees. I'm sure they must take some kind of cut just for like hosting your products and just for things like that. So I liked having my own website just in terms of having complete control over it, and there's no middleman. I can just do my own thing. And yeah, just having that control. But I also feel like being on Etsy, you have the kind of, you have the kind of, I don't know, you reach more people, I think. Like, people will be on there not necessarily looking for you, but maybe looking for the thing that you do. And that's what I want to start taking advantage of on Etsy. So more so with like my commission stuff. That's the kind of place, especially times like this around the holidays, where people are looking for custom pieces of artwork and stuff like that, and they're not necessarily Googling it, and if they are Googling it, there's a very slim chance of them finding my website in all the options. Sorry. So, you know, if they're on Etsy, there's a much sort of stronger chance of them finding me if I'm on there and I have that listed, and they can sort of see if that's the kind of thing they want from me. So yeah, I am looking into setting up an Etsy store. I do think it's a good option. I also want to work on my Society 6 and maybe set up a Redbubble site, just open up a few more avenues to have just my artwork out there for sale. So my voice has gone so creaky all of a sudden. But yeah, that is the kind of stuff that it's been on my to-do list for about like 2 months. But obviously Inktober took over, so I'm hoping to do that kind of stuff next week, when I will hopefully be taking a week off from, still haven't really decided yet, but probably from making videos, maybe from like, I don't know, all social media. Yeah, probably from all social media. Just so I can just step back and focus on all the things that kind of built up over the last month and a bit, and just give myself a level sort of playing field to start back on again. And here is what I'm talking about with reactivating the paint. That pink bit had been there for a little while, and at first I couldn't really budge it, but with a little bit of, I call it smushing it around, but you know, just like drawing my brush over and over, I was able to reactivate that pink. And also I think I just did add a bit more paint to it. Oh no, yeah. So I just did that yellow, pulled that down into the pink, and that was able to blend into an orange with just a little bit of fiddling around with it. But yeah, that's my answer in terms of Etsy. I think Etsy is a great option to go with. I don't know enough about it to really talk about it, but I don't see why not. Otherwise, your options would be to have your own website, which obviously costs money. You would have to pay for the domain, so you know, it could be lisa.com, and then you would have to pay for like a web hosting service, so that your website isn't just a blank page, something that you can kind of work with. So that's where things like Squarespace and other sites like that will come into the equation. They kind of like just ways to build a website. And then so I use WordPress for my website, and then there's a plugin that you can use to give yourself a shop on there, which is called WooCommerce. And so I don't know, there's a lot of work behind it, a lot of like learning how to do all that, how to figure that all out. So if you're sort of starting out, I think Etsy is a great option to just be able to put your things out there somewhere and not have to deal with all that, because there's still the work of sorting out your postage, and that's something that Etsy can't do. And then in that case, then you've got the sites like Society6 and Redbubble, where you just upload your artwork and they will print it and send it out, and you really don't have to worry about it. So there's all different levels of being able to sell your work and your merchandise, and I think all of them are worth looking at. By the end of next week, hopefully I will be using all of those different platforms. So I don't think you really need to limit yourself to one, but if you are going to limit yourself to one, I think Etsy is a good middle ground, where you've got the control over production of whatever you're selling, you've got control over posting it, but you don't have to worry about the logistics of running a website and setting up a shop and knowing about all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's my answer to that question. I feel like there was something else I wanted to talk about, but I can't really remember. I've been thinking about these videos, these real-time videos, and also just the $5 tier in general. I feel like, I don't know, these videos on their own aren't really enough to justify paying another $3. And yeah, for a while now I've just been a bit unsure of the tiers, the just sort of the layout of things here, I guess. Whenever I have people delete their pledges, even though I understand that's people's situations change, they're not necessarily doing it because I'm not doing enough, I do always think about, am I making this worthwhile for people here? Because my biggest worry is that I'm not. So I've been thinking about how things are set up over here, and I will just be kind of looking into this week different things that I might do on here, but also at the moment I'm thinking one real-time video a month, just because they aren't really my favorite to make, and even though I do I like doing these voiceovers, I like talking along with something longer, but at the same time I don't get a question to answer every time, so I'm thinking if I do it once a month, I'll at least have things to talk about. And then I've talked about this a lot before, but I would like to be sending things out to people, like physical limited edition, just like prints that aren't available to other people. So yeah, let me know what kind of stuff you'd be interested in, what you feel about the tiers as they are now. And yeah, thank you for watching. I will see you soon for the next video, and I will keep you updated with my week off and how that's all playing out. So yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye.